In upcoming episodes of Days of Our Lives, viewers will witness an emotional turning point as Sarah Horton Kyriakis decides to leave Salem for good following the final collapse of her marriage to Xander Cook. This heartbreaking storyline will not only bring closure to a long and complicated love story but also mark the exit of actress Lindsay Godfrey, who has portrayed Sarah with grace, passion, and fire through some of the show's most dramatic arcs. The cracks between Sarah and Xander have been visible for weeks. Their relationship has always been one of deep love but even deeper conflict, built on chemistry, trust issues, and a history of deception that never truly faded. Even though both tried to rebuild their marriage for the sake of their daughter, Victoria, old wounds never healed. Xander's temper, his impulsive choices, and his inability to let go of his darker instincts finally pushed Sarah past her breaking point. Recent episodes already showed Sarah struggling to forgive Xander after discovering that he kept another massive secret from her. One that ties into his involvement in the fallout surrounding Philip Kyriakis and Victor's estate. Sarah realizes that while Xander loves her, he cannot change who he is at the core. His loyalty to power, money, and his own pride always seems to outweigh the promises he makes. In the next scenes, fans will see Sarah making a heartbreaking decision. After several tense confrontations, she finally tells Xander that she can't do it anymore. The marriage, which once seemed indestructible, becomes suffocating. The papers are signed, the ring comes off, and the divorce becomes official. Xander tries to fight it at first, desperate to convince her that he can be the man she deserves, but when he sees the pain in Sarah's eyes and hears the finality in her voice, he knows it's over. This emotional farewell leads to one of the most touching sequences Salem has seen in a while. Sarah shares tearful goodbyes with Maggie Horton Kyriakis, who is heartbroken but understands her daughter's need to start over. Maggie has seen this cycle repeat for years. Sarah trying to fix Xander and Xander trying to prove himself, but it always ends in heartbreak. She supports Sarah's decision to leave, even though it means losing her daughter's presence in Salem for now. Sarah's departure isn't an impulsive move. Spoilers indicate that she will decide to relocate to Chicago, where she's been offered a new medical position. It's a chance to refocus her life, reclaim her independence, and raise her daughter in a stable environment away from the chaos that always seems to follow her in Salem. Before she leaves, she visits the hospital one last time, shares quiet moments with Kayla, and expresses gratitude for all the memories, both good and bad, that made her stronger. The goodbye between Sarah and Xander will be particularly emotional. He'll show up unexpectedly at the Horton house just before she leaves, trying to say something, anything, to stop her. But instead of another argument, the moment becomes surprisingly tender. Sarah thanks him for loving her in his own way, tells him that she'll never forget what they had, and that he'll always be part of her heart because he gave her the most precious gift, their daughter. Xander, broken but dignified, tells her that she deserves peace, and he hopes she finds it. It's an ending that feels tragic but honest, closing a love story that could never quite overcome its own chaos. Once Sarah departs, Salem will feel her absence immediately. Maggie will struggle with loneliness, and Xander will spiral in guilt and anger, especially as he begins to realize that Sarah's departure is permanent this time. There will be emotional fallout for those around them too. Chloe, Brady, and even Justin will reflect on how Xander's self-destructive streak seems to have cost him everything once again. As for Lindsay Godfrey, her exit is said to be a mutual decision between the actress and the showrunners. Her final scenes will highlight Sarah's strength and resilience, reminding fans that even after heartbreak, she refuses to lose herself. There's also speculation that the door will remain open for a future return, something Days of Our Lives is known for. Sarah's story may not be over forever, but for now, it ends with a quiet drive out of Salem, a new life ahead, and a promise to build a future where she can finally find peace.